Um, Hola, soy Leticia Smith. I'm the founder of Risas y Sonrisas Spanish for Kids. So I am here to share with you a little bit of the story of Risas y Sonrisas, how it works, and you know, you can decide at the end if this is something that will work for your family or not. So I put together this slide, as you can see, this slide presentation. We've been in business for over 22 years. And this is the different situations. In a school, they use them all, we sell all over the United States. And there's the schools and homeschools has been a big growing market for us. It started with, you know, just offering it to schools when we began. And then a lot of parents start asking if we could offer the book, if we could offer the workbooks. And then now we have a whole package that is specifically for homeschoolers. And also with COVID last year, remote learning became very popular. And we have a digital program that helped us back up this need. So this is what I'm going to be talking about, our curriculum. As you can see, this is my daughter who is in the middle there, Michelle. This was one of our first conventions that we attended in the Association Council of Teachers of Foreign Language back in 1998. And so it has a long history. And what we have in this package, we have encapsulated all of our experience, all the great ideas, everything that teachers dream to have or parents dream to have to teach the language in a way that is fun for their children. It's all in one package. So you don't have to be picking like a puzzle. Where do I find a song? Where do I find the pictures? And everything is integrated in one single package. So that is what we offer. We offer you the tools so that when you teach the language, it's not just with a book, or it's just not with online, or, you know, a boring just writing and learning grammar. It's everything you will see as I present. This is the model that is usually in the program, integrated throughout the program. The teacher, or in this case, the online program for homeschool parents, is going to be more needed at the beginning. The children are going to rely more into the online program, listening to the words or looking at the words in the posters or the book. They're going to be relying more on that at the beginning, but as they start progressing, you will notice that they're going to need it less. Later, you don't have to use the posters. You don't have to use the pronunciation of the words. There's going to be a point where they will be mastering. That's what we want for them to get to that point where they master the materials. And that is through all the songs, vocabulary, questions and answers, and skits that you see here. The whole process for the presentation of materials is like that: introduction, reinforcement, and mastery. We learn through repetition. That is a fact. But if that repetition is always the same, even if it's a fantastic game, if we just do that game over and over and over, we, or children, everybody, it burns out. So what we did with Risas y Sonrisas is create the tool so that you're presenting the same thing over and over and over, but it's always different. And so it's repetition with variety. And what we have here is just like all the things that you get just to teach food. Food is the theme, and you get your posters, your pictures, your bingos, your dominoes, the book, the workbook exercises. You get more food in the cognate folders, and all the things that are on the right are the print, and all the things that you see in the left is the digital portion of it. What you see here in the board is the girl is making a sentence in present, past, and future with pictures, because that's the goal, is to not only be learning vocabulary, not only be learning, oh, I already know my numbers, my colors. No, you need to put them in context and use them to communicate. And so that's what we teach in the program. We give a lot of emphasis on teaching pronunciation skills. And for that, the tools that you get are posters that have the sounds of the letters that are different in Spanish. For instance, the letter H in Spanish is always silent. So you will see here, you know, you're going to see it in your poster, you're going to see it in your book, and you're going to see it also in the online program. This is where you're going to be learning. Your kids, or you, if you want to learn with them, in the online program is where you have all the audio to practice everything that you're learning. We also use a lot of cognates. Cognates are words that are the same in Spanish and English, and we use them to teach to read because that's where you see the contrast of the word, sometimes spelled exactly the same, like the word hospital is spelled exactly the same in English and Spanish, but here's where you can apply these rules that we say. And when they make a mistake, that gives you the opportunity to show them, remember the H in Spanish is silent. You don't say hospital, you say hospital. You don't pronounce the H. So all of these tools, I'm gonna go into more detail when we go into the online program. And one of the things that I wanna do in this presentation is to teach you some of these pronunciation skills and to have you feel from the student point of view how they learn these skills in the language. Every theme starts with a song. So you're gonna have the posters that teach you the song in the same order. The pictures are in the same order as the song. So you could be pointing at the pictures in the poster or in the book. They're the same in the same order. You also have them in the online program. If you notice that the top line is the same as the first poster, the second line is the same as the second poster. And what this helps you is that if you sing in the song, you can have the song in the online program and just be pointing at the pictures, the word is there. But when you want to make it more challenging, you touch this I and those words disappear. So now it's just the pictures and they're singing the song in the order that it's supposed to be using the pictures. We also incorporated American Sign Language to, because this program is trying to use all of your senses. One of them is movement, and sign language, you're moving your hands. You're connecting a word to a hand gesture, a sign. And so any of you know American Sign Language by any chance? No? Perfect, because I'm going to prove to you how quickly and how important and why we incorporate American Sign Language in our lessons. So one of the things that I like to teach is the animals that are right here in the picture. So I'm going to show you the first poster in less than 2 minutes. And you're going to know these words in sign language in less than 2 minutes just by showing you the signs. So the first one is horse. If you notice caballo, the word caballo is horse it's the ear of the horse. If you want to do it with me, it'll stay more, you will understand better. So this is caballo, the horse, the ear. And if you want to do the donkey, it's with the ear down, it's burro. Okay, burro y caballo. Okay, that's with the things up, it's caballo. The vaca or cow is the horn. So you just basically, the pinky comes out, it's the horn. That's la vaca, la vaca. Then if you notice, I skipped, the la oveja is like shears cutting the wool. That is la oveja. And right now I'm not teaching you the words, I'm just teaching you the sign language. So that's oveja. Puerco is pig, like the little fat under the chin, that's puerco. Pájaro is bird, the beak, like the bird. And gallina is the same, the beak, but picking a grain. So that's gallina. So you see, we're acting the words that we're learning. Gallina, pollito is the same as gallina, but with baby. Baby, chicken. That's how we say pollito, baby, chicken. Mariposa is butterfly, so you cross your thumbs, and that would be mariposa. Mariposa, butterfly. Cabra is the beard and the horn. Cabra is goat. Cabra, goat. Perro is like when you call a dog and you use your, hey, come over here. That's dog, caballo, perro. Gato is the whiskers. So you see, you're just pulling your whiskers, that's gato. And last one, abeja. Imagine you have it in your chin and you're just telling them to get out of there. That's abeja, okay? So now just to prove to you how this should be the universal language in the world, because it's American Sign Language, but that's how quickly you learn this word. So I'm going to make one sign and you tell me what it is. You can say it in English, or if you want to say it in Spanish, there's the poster. So what is this one? Remember, this one is one thing and this is the opposite, the other. El burro, muy bien. ¿Qué animal es este? Oh, and what happens is you don't have audio, ¿verdad? That's why probably I'm not hearing some of you. So what, you can say it in English. You can see it here. What animal does it look like? And you can say it in English, no?
Vaca.
Nobody? Vaca, vaca, cow. What about this one?
Pájaro.
Pájaro, muy bien.
There's some people who are muted.
Yes, I think that's why we don't hear them. See, Shelby, I think, is muted.
Mariposa.
Mariposa, muy bien.
Oveja.
Oveja.
Gato.
Gato. We did this one or esta?
Yeah, we did this one.
Oh, we did this one, I'm sorry. What about this one? You're trying to say it in Spanish. Caballo, horse, yeah, that's a little more challenging having you say it in Spanish. What about this one? What animal?
Cabra.
Cabra, cabra. So you see, in less than 5 minutes, here we are, and you already know the animals in sign language. They make sense because we're kind of just imitating what the animal, something of that animal, right? The good thing about that is that instead of the children singing the song, caballo, horse, oveja, lamb, vaca, cow, puerco, pig, they're going, caballo, horse, oveja, lamb, vaca, cow, puerco, pig, pájaro, bird, gallina, hen, pollito is baby, chicken, mariposa, butterfly, cabra, goat, perro, dog, gato, cat, abeja, bee, el burro is the donkey. So you see, it's like they're moving, and even if you, I sometimes get the question, my 5th graders, I don't know if they're gonna go over this, or like you said, you have kids in junior high or they're older kids. I always try to explain that music is the fastest way to enter the brain. It is like magic. I can give you several examples of you maybe singing a song that you heard in the radio. You're singing it without ever studying it. You learn the lyrics without ever reading them, and you go, why? Well, it's because it's in a music tone. If you were to have that same song in a poem, then you would have to study it and you would have to practice it. But the fact that it comes in a melody, it's the best and fastest pathway to the brain. Now, that doesn't mean you know what it means. You know, the fact that you can say words in a song doesn't mean, especially in a foreign language, doesn't mean that you know it yet. But at least it already entered your brain. So that's why if your children doesn't want to sing, say, okay, don't sing, but then see which way you learn faster. Without singing, here are the words. You don't have to do the song. But if you sing, you're going to, learn that maybe within a day. They're singing the song of the colors and the shapes and whatever not. So, so that is just for music. We still give you the music CD. The music CD has, there's a few songs that are missing there because the CDs are kind of starting to go out of the market, unfortunately. So we still give them because sometimes there's some homeschoolers that don't want to use digital all the time. If you have the music, this program actually you can do without digital, especially if you know Spanish. So those of you who say, oh, now that I have the curriculum, every year I have to do the digital, that is optional. Having the CD and I do think that the vocabulary, you do depend on something to say the vocabulary to you. But all these words, you can still find them in different places online. It's the way they are presented to you that makes it very powerful. So you're going to see throughout the game how all of this is going to be tied together. The next one that we have here is the lyrics. So you also can listen to the lyrics and the audio. So all of this is just to present the song. You have all these different ways of doing it. This is what I was talking about, movement. It's so important to incorporate movement because of the different learning styles. The children that learn by listening or by looking, or those that need to move and touch and stand up and they are kind of like never can sit down. Those are the ones that are going to benefit from standing up and playing games, the sign language, and everybody in general, the fact that you're doing something different is going to make it very useful for all kinds of learners. After singing, then you introduce vocabulary. And for the vocabulary, here come the posters, the pictures, the bingos, the dominoes. The color coding in the small program, you don't have that. The color coding, you have the words in the back of your workbook. And the way we have the masculine are basically regular and feminine are italics. So if you want to highlight with pastels or with colors in pink, then you can have your words that are in the back of the workbook and have them for the program. Otherwise, they are in the back of the picture cards. This is the size of cards that you get in the program. They're about 2 inches. And in the back, you have the word, you have the theme they come from. You have it separated in syllables because when you're learning to pronounce and to read, it is very important to separate in syllables and see why we're stressing in the bold, oh, we say cono, we don't say cono, we say cono. Why? There, if you know the rules of accents, this will help you explain why we're stressing here. And the rules of accent is something more advanced, but you can explain it using this element in the program. Also, we show you how to say it in plural. So this one would be el cono, los conos. But if the word is feminine, in the case of the homeschool program, like I was saying, you don't have the word. You can see one is italics. This one is in italic. Cono is in regular. Esfera is italic. So you would say la esfera. This is something that you probably are looking at and say, what are you talking about, masculine, feminine? That is something in the Spanish language. The words, the nouns are either boy words or girl words. El and la, and I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. You put also a magnet in the back of your cards, and then you can play lots of games with these flashcards. Like this game that I had here, I put a clip on the top, and this is in our manual and also in the reference theme cards. By putting a clip, now you can turn this into a concentration game. And so the student would have, by the time you do this, they already know the colors and shapes. So they have to name what color and shape this is, esfera rosa. And then you say, let's see what's behind esfera rosa. Contento. And so there is the first card they call. And then I have them, if you see here, I have them call a number. By the time we're playing this game that I just did with some students, they already know colors, numbers, and shapes. So let's say they say 40. 40, let's see what's behind 40. It also has a clip. Contento. So there is your match, and you would give them a point or. So this is one of the games that when you can play it on a table, or if you want a magnetic board, that makes it more fun. Or when you have a group of students. I use this also when I'm teaching online. The magnetic board is very helpful. So you have all these tools in print, the bingo, the domino is part of the school program, but you can buy this separately if you want to buy dominoes. That domino game is in the online program, so you can play it online. These are the digital games. A lot of the digital games that we play online are similar to our printed games. So that's where you're going to add that variety when you're learning vocabulary. Learning vocabulary would be useless if you don't connect it to something, right? We just learn, like I was saying, no, I know my numbers. And you have all these kids that go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I go, okay, show me 5. And they have to go, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 5. They have to count again. They really haven't mastered the numbers. Well, after mastering, or as you're mastering your vocabulary, at the same time, you are learning practical conversation. So we do it in the form of questions and answers of frequent use. So in this case, when the children learn colors, we teach them to say, what is your favorite color? My favorite color is, and then you say red. If you notice, the pattern that you want them to learn is, ¿cuál es tu? Mi es. What is your? My is. Knowing this allows you to say a lot of things as you're building vocabulary. So that is what we do. We teach a question and answer in one theme, and we recycle it. We keep on using that question as we keep building vocabulary. You're going to have in print the question and answer. You're going to have it in the digital program. And then at the end of At the end of the chapter, you have a skit. And that skit, again, in the online program, you're going to listen to the skit. You can be pausing and repeating. You have it in your book and you have it in your workbook. Spanish on the left side and English on the right side. So these are, I'm going to show you some of in our YouTube channel, the children acting some of these skits. This is the example of what is your favorite color. My favorite color is blue. Here you substitute favorite color for what is your favorite number? What is your favorite animal? What is your favorite sport? What is your favorite food? You see, it's the same. We're just substituting as we're learning more vocabulary. We continue using it. And this question, you can say, what is your name? What is your last name? What is your address, phone number? So it's just incorporating lots of vocabulary with one same pattern. And then the answer is what's in yellow. My favorite color is blue. So these questions, as they build up, you can also make little skits like, hello, how are you? Fine, and you fine. What is your name? Where do you live? All these questions and answers, put them together and you make mini skits. As the students build up vocabulary, this is the next step. This is a little bit more advanced, where they're putting together sentences, and this is for the older students, parents that have older kids that are conjugating verbs. This tool is very useful to teach them how to conjugate in the present, past, and future. And the way you relate it is to a traffic light. So red is where you are right now, the present is red. Green is where you're going, the future, green is mañana. And yellow, yesterday, where you were before you got to red, it's ayer, yesterday. So they immediately understand present, past, and future with these cards. So if you put the red card before this is the personal pronoun you. And so they know, oh, okay, I have to go to the red section. And then I know this is my verb escribir. They grab their word escribir and they can insert it. And now they can say, tú escribes, and then just continue putting vocabulary. You write in the workbook of the school with a red pencil. So this is a complete sentence that is done with pictures. So that makes it more interesting than if they had exercises in workbooks, just writing and repeating. Here, you are challenging them to do conversations with pictures. Another thing that's important in the language is to learn culture. And this is the theme that we incorporated last year, to learn all the countries that speak Spanish in the world. There's 21 of them, as you can see here. There's one in Europe, of course, Spain, and one in Africa, which is Equatorial Guinea, Equatorial Guinea. Is that how you say it, Equatorial Guinea? There's one in Africa. The language is Spanish. ¿Cómo se dice, Michelle? The national established
primary
language is Spanish there. And all these countries here, except for Brazil. In Brazil, they speak Portuguese, which is very similar in Spanish. So that is a very good reason to learn the language. When you travel, they understand you in almost all the countries under the United States. Plus, the Spanish is a language that has a lot of Latin, so Italian and Portuguese and French. Of course, all those languages, it'll be a lot easier to study them as a third language if you know Spanish. So we give you the map. You have a song that teaches the regions and the countries. And then we give you these cards with fun facts about Spain, about Mexico. And then if you want to learn the flags, you also get a pair of flags. So you can learn the demonym, like the way you call people in that country, Mexican or Spaniard, how to say it in English and how to say it in Spanish, and the capital. All that is in the back of the flags. So now we're going into the online program. It's a program that is presented in themes. So we have theme of school and body and opposites. And like I was telling you, each theme comes with all the things that I said and the conversations. But then I'm going to show you, once we get in the digital program, all the different things that you can do. The orange icons are for music that I was telling you, animated song, the sign and sing, and the song lyrics. The blue icons are for games. The interactive flashcards, these you're going to be using a lot when you're just starting to learn the vocabulary. The bubbles and the domino. And then the gray are for conversation. This is where you have your questions and answers, where you have your posters with audio. And the skits, you'll see this icon to listen to the skits, where the vocabulary that you're learning and the questions and answers, they merge, and then they're acting a skit. And that's like our goal, one of our goals. So I'm going to show you here, before I go into the online program, this is our YouTube channel. So if you want to go and see more of what I'm talking about with children in action, students in action, these are some of the videos. Some of them are from 2007. There's a school here in Austin where they allowed us to videotape the students. These students have Spanish twice a week. And you can see children in action doing the Q&As, reading the skit. And like I'm going to show you this one.
Buenas tardes, doctor. Buenas tardes. Por favor, pasa. ¿Cómo te llamas? Me llamo Autumn. Hola, Autumn. ¿Cómo estás? Estoy muy mal. Estoy enferma. ¿Qué te duele? Me duele el estómago. Vamos a ver. Por favor, los pasos detrás de la espalda y saca la lengua. Más afuera. ¡Qué horror! ¿Por qué, doctor? Déjalo, es mi lengua. Es verde. ¿Pero por qué?
These students did not have the digital program back then. So having 30 minutes once a week, well, of course, they did have a Spanish teacher, and obviously what you see here, but they didn't have except their books to practice. So in that presentation, which for homeschool parents, that's what you're going to be doing in the online program. Everything your teacher is your online program. Everything you're learning is in there. So, so go into this channel and you're going to be able to see a lot of the features in that are in the program, and also children in action. One of the other things that they asked me is, how can one program be for kinder, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, high schoolers? Right now, I'm teaching a group of senior citizens with this same program. And I am going to be recording them so that at one point I can show there is no age to teach a language with specific, this is for this grade. Language is something that you learn by exposure. You have kindergartners that are fluent in the language, and you can have, like right now, my senior citizens that don't speak a word. So language is something you acquire with time. And the only difference here is readers and non-readers. When the children don't read, then there's things in the program that you're going to skip because they're still not ready to understand it. But one of the reasons I like to show this video is because this is a customer that purchased the program. He's a missioner, and these are his grandchildren. And this little boy here is 6 years old, and he's acting the skit. And I was like, how did a 6-year-old learn the skit? He's not reading, and it's because he's listening to it. You have the video, and the video, it's understanding. So the girl here is translating what they're saying, and they're acting the skit. And I just want you to hear him, because this is the reason why I say their potential is amazing when they're young, and you should not be limiting them to less. It's just presenting it in a way that doesn't require reading. So.
Una regla, unas tijeras, unos lápices de colores, y el libro de inglés. No, not yet.
So you see and this you can take your time and go see it, but this is the reason where I like to say, don't put limits and try to put boxes in things that can be for any age, and language is one of them. Language is something that you can definitely present to different age groups. So this is our website, and then to go to the online program, I thought I already had it up here, but you just go to onlinespanishforkids.com. Actually, you can go to our website and log in our website. There's a button there, but since I had already logged in, I'm still here. So basically, this is the online program, and I'm going to show you some of the, let's say you're starting from scratch, some of the pronunciation. rules. This is the vowels, the animated song for the vowels.
Vocales, the vowels, las vocales. A,
A,
E,
E,
I,
I,
O,
O,
U.
U.
¿Cuántos
¿Cuántos
años
años
tienes
tienes
tú?
tú?
¿Cuántos años
Did
tienes
you
tú?
notice that first
One.
you saw how many years do you have? That is translating word by word so that later this same question, you can use it with how many brothers do you have? How many sisters do you have? In Spanish, when we ask age, we never say how old are you? We really say how many years do you have? That's how we ask our age. So it's important to know what it means and then to tell you what it is, like translation and transliteration. We give you both in this case because it is important that you understand this is how we ask, how old are you? But it means how many, quantity, cuántos, años is years, and tienes tú is you have, how many years you have. So the good thing about this question, it also has all of the vowels. By the way, this is Picachito. He's famous little bird because he comes to me sometimes when I'm giving presentations. But anyway, this is the song of the vowels. This is how you, some of the most important sounds in Spanish. This is the key, I would say 75% of knowing how to speak in Spanish and read in Spanish is knowing the sounds A, E, I, O, U. And for that, you also have your poster. So you can listen, it tells you, the doctor makes you say, ah. So this can be a little lesson I give you in pronunciation. So ah, without speaking your tongue, it's not it's ah. Can you say ah? Ah, okay. And here's, you can listen to the sound ah, and then
A,
e like egg,
E,
e like
E,
ski, o like orange. And
O,
so here's where you come and
U,
practice.
U.
A, E, I, O, U. Very common for English speakers to confuse the letter E because you're used to see it silent. You're used to see it sound like E. You're used to see it sound like E. You know, you have so many sounds in English for this vowel that this is the one that's more challenging when you're reading in Spanish. But the good thing about the vowels in Spanish is that they always sound the same. They don't change like in English. It's always A, E, I, O, U. And if you remember that, I think that's, like I say, the most important. So you have these pictures here to practice and the audio. And then after the vowels, then we go to the consonants. Well, we can also learn the alphabet here. Let me show you el alfabeto.
D, E, F, G.
So you see, it's almost identical to English. Once you know that this is E, you know, so we don't say D because it sounds E, right? So we say, instead of saying D, we say D. Instead of saying E, we say E. Instead of saying F, we say F. You see, so all these letters, like, how would you say you think M? So if we say F like this, how do you think we would say M? M, you see? Yes, you would say M, or S, you would say S, or L, you would say L. And those that you say like D, in English you say P. How do you say in English, in Spanish, P? You say P, D. So you see, it's very easy to learn the alphabet. You have this song to learn it. This is how they learn the alphabet the first time. In this alphabet, I include 3 letters that are no longer in the alphabet. And you're gonna see them right over here in the alphabet poster. So you see here is our poster. You can listen.
A,
Individually. Have
B,
the song and then you have the
C.
poster. You can hear.
el alfabeto.
Okay, what he
All
means
letter
here by
sounds.
saying all letter sounds, the ones that are in parentheses, they took out of the alphabet about 20 years ago. And I think it had to do with new, maybe the digital life that we live now or something where they didn't want to have another tab, how do you say, another letter in the computer. I think that's why they took it out. So che, words that are like chocolate, chocolate, we find it like in English in the letter C. It used to be its own letter. The reason that I still like to put it in here is this is to pronounce. This is used for pronunciation. I want the kids to know che, because there's words that we're going to use
Che.
like that. And also the other letter that is no longer in the alphabet is the double L. In this case, it's eye, like a Y, and I'm going to show you why it's like a Y. Eye.
Eye.
So that's why it's in parentheses. And the other one that's not in the alphabet is R. This is the hardest sound to learn in Spanish for Americans. Rolling your R. Some have it naturally. It sounds like in Alaska right now, like when you go that is the sound you're gonna do when the R is the first letter in the word. Like for instance, Robert, in Spanish we say Roberto. You see, you don't say Roberto because then everybody knows you're American. As soon as you say Roberto, they say that you're, but if you can say Roberto and you roll that first R, that's how you know you have the hardest pronunciation part. The other time that you roll your R is when it's in the middle of a word. Like car in Spanish is carro. So you roll that R. Can I see how many of you can roll your R's? R, like going brr. I know that Patty, of course, knows how to roll, and Michelle knows how to roll your R's, but how about Megan? Can you roll your R?
Carro.
Muy bien, you got it. Some of you are natural.
So hard on that. It took so much work in high school.
Oh, you did, but you dominate. That's a sound that some of you may naturally. There's kids that you say, "Can you roll your R's?" and immediately they do it. They don't even have to practice. What about Katrina? Can you roll your R's?
No, I'm not even gonna try. I know I can't.
Okay, you would say like caro, right? But it's like that is, and you don't have to. Honestly, you can be speaking the language and say caro, and everybody knows what you're saying. So it's not that important. What about Shelby? Tampoco. Okay, so that will be something that you can either practice if you want to, or you can just skip. It's not important. Oh,
R.
So anyway, this is the alphabet the way that it really is. That's why it says current alphabet, because this one doesn't have those extra letters. And if you notice, oh, and he hasn't fixed this. This should not have a U. Doble. It's supposed to be doble, not double. This is one of those typos that, because we just added this poster. So if you notice here, what letter is the only letter that's extra that is not in the American alphabet?
Ñ.
Ñ is the only letter you don't have in English. So it's the exact same alphabet except for the letter Ñ. That's how we say the alphabet. So if you want to say it with me, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. This is one of those sounds that is going to be in another place. H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, or you can also call it Y, Greek Y, Y, or Y, and then Z. And there's your alphabet, and you can just listen to the whole thing if you want.
A, B,
So these
C,
are
D,
these.
E, A, F, B, G, C, H, D, I, E, J, F, K, G, L, H, M, I, N, J, N, K, O, L, P, M, Q, N, R, S, P, Q, U, R, V, S, W, X, U, Y, V, Z, W, X,
Ay, gracias.
Y,
I don't know. I
Z.
think I clicked it like 5 times when I was trying to. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, that was the. Oh, this is very important. So this is where it tells you the letters that are different in Spanish. H is silent. Double L in Spanish sounds like a Y. You roll your R's. This is that. The ñ is like ña, 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 ña. It's like the NY in English. Like when you say the word canyon, that ña is the ñ. The V in Spanish sounds more like a soft B. The Z in Spanish sounds like an S. So we don't say azul, which is blue. We say azul. Azul. It's more like an S. The J is always laughing. Ha, he, hi, ho, hu. It's always that sound. Never the J. That sound in Spanish, you will never hear it. It's ha, he, hi, ho, hu. Or this one is the same. G next to E and I, it's he, he. And then the G, the soft G that we have in English is very similar. Ga, go, gu, with the vowels stay the same. And then we have ge and gi, because otherwise it would be he and he. So if we want to make it soft, we have to have a silent U in there. Like the word guest and guitar, it's exactly the same. It's that same sound, ge and gi. And never in Spanish we say gay, like gate. It's always ga, it's always gu, it's always go, it's always he, he. You see that a, e, I, o, u always stays the same. And then for the next letters here, it's ka, ko, ku. This is the same in English too. The C next to E and I is the sound se, si, right? Like city and cent in Spanish is going to be the same. So the reason I put them here is because of this sound here, the Q. So here we're missing the sound ke, ki, right? Ka, ke, ki, ko, ku. If we wanted to say that, we have to do it with the letter Q. The Q is next to the U forever and ever. In Spanish, you always have a Q with a U, but the U is always silent. It never lets the U. It's a silent U. You will never have the sound qua, like quack. In Spanish, it's the only combinations you will see in Spanish is with an E and an I, and it's que, ki. So that's how we make the sound ka, ke, ki, ko, ku. Okay, so that is very important because many words we're gonna see with ke and ki. If you want to see what words they are, you go in here and you see the word, the first word, for instance. You try to read it, we separate it in syllables. We put in orange what you have to kind of remember, and we put in bold where you have to stress. So here, how would you guess, a ver, who wants a volunteer who wants to read this word? With the rule of U is silent. Any volunteers that are not Michelle, Patty, or Michelle or Patty? And maybe one of you can do, or let's do this one right here. Remember, U is silent, and remember the sound for this one is E. So how would you read this word right here? The second one.
Is it cheque?
Cheque. Che. And you see how it's separated? Che, que. And you stress on this one. Che, que. Par, que. Tan, que. What does parque mean? Parque. Any guesses? It's almost like in English. Just what word sounds like that in English?
It sounds like park.
It's park. So that's what the kids really like. That first class, I always tell them, who knows Spanish? And they go, no, I don't know any Spanish. And then I bring this list of words, and you can use these here and demonstrate how much Spanish the students already know, or your kids already know. So you guess right. And if you want to see, you open here.
Parque.
You can listen to the word,
Parque.
you can look at the picture, and you can see what it means in English. So parque, you pronounce it parque, and that's what it means. So what
Parque.
the next one, guess what it means? Any guesses for this second word? Cheque. What do you think it means? You said this is park, right? So what is this?
It's a check.
A check. Cheque. That's how we say
Cheque.
check in Spanish. Cheque. What about this one? Tanque. So if this was parque, park, cheque, check, what is tanque?
Tank?
Tank. And so here it is. Tanques, you can listen to the word.
Tanque.
What about ataque?
Tanque.
Ataque. If this was atanque, what do you think ataque is?
Attack.
Attack. Ataque, attack.
Ataque.
So you can, so you see that is how you will be
Ataque.
getting these sounds of the QUE, the sounds that are different in Spanish. One was the vowels that always sound the same, and the other one was the letters that we present here in the easy word. So this is the pronunciation that you're going to use. You have your vowel sound, the animated. You can learn American Sign Language alphabet. But this we place a lot of importance at the beginning because learning to read is going to open a huge door to vocabulary. We have if you want to get a book that's called Cognates in Spanish, we have 20,000 words in common. So learning that vocabulary is the easiest language to learn. We have it here in pronunciation to teach those words. And if you go back to your online program, we also have them here. And here, these are the same, you see, we give you a folder in the homeschool program that has 162 of these words that are, we call it easy vocabulary. And he's gonna be presenting the different sections. The animal section is right there. Then the instruments is right there. Then we have fantasy, we have sports, we have transportation, fruits, all of these 162, you can learn them in 10 minutes, 5 minutes. You learn them very, very quickly. And if you want to see how to pronounce them, you go in here and then you can see in lunch, this is actually an Anglicism. Anglicism means it has English because we have so much also words. Having you as next to our country, we also use words that in Spain and in Mexico, we have English words that we have made it part of our language. Launch is one of them. Not all of the Latin countries decide to do that. In Spain, they use American words that maybe in Mexico we don't use, and in South America, other words that we don't use. But here's an example of words like food. Atún means tuna.
El atún.
Caramelos.
El atún.
Candy, caramel,
Los
right? Caramel,
caramelos.
caramelos, candy. Chocolate, chocolate. So
El
these words are
chocolate.
great when you are practicing those questions and answers like, what is your favorite animal? And then you let them choose. You go to the animal section here and you go to animales. Where's animales? Los reptiles, los animales. So here are the águila. Guess what águila means? Eagle, right? Gato, cat. Flamenco, flamingo. So anyway, this is
flamenco.
part of the pronunciation that you can use and also for the conversation. Now I'm going to show you inside of a theme. Let's do the animals, the one that I was showing you, the sign language very quickly. You see, she's doing the signs. This is where you're going to be learning the signs that I taught you. The animated song, I already showed you one. The lyrics, you have.
Los animales de la
want,
granja.
Or you can just leave the text for them to read. Caballo, horse, oveja, lamb. So you have that option. And then for games, here are the flashcards. And here's the first one. You can bring whatever you choose. You know, you can. It's like having flashcards online. And here, the first one, of course, matches. Very easy. This is the easy stage where the first word matches the first picture.
El caballo.
You can listen to the word. Now go find it. Well, the second one.
La
matches.
rana.
Let's make it more challenging. So now we're going to another level. We erase the words, right? So now they're not there. That's a little more challenging. And we mix them up. Okay, so now being mixed up. Pájaro, you have to find, you can listen to them. Okay, here it is.
El pájaro. El pájaro.
Go find pato. Now,
El
blue
pato.
and pink is for masculine, feminine. So el pato, right here. El pato. If you put it in the wrong place, it bounces back. So this is going to be used to learn a lot of it, to be practicing those cards. And then we have the domino game. You have two levels. The first level is with audio. So you listen to the word. Okay, let's grab this one first.
El perro.
We now,
El
where is
perro.
el perro?
El perro.
El gallo. Gallo.
El
Where is
gallo.
el gallo? Burro.
El
Burro
burro.
is over here.
El burro.
And there they go. This is the one that you can get extra if you want to buy it. It used to be the only thing the homeschool program had before the cards, and we decided to give the posters and cards instead of the domino. So anyway, this
La tortuga.
this is for the level 1, and level 2 is without the audio. The bubbles is the same way. Level 1 is with audio. I'm sorry. They both have, here the bubbles are not moving. So for little kids, they can take their time and go grab, where is el ganso? Where is el ganso? Where is el gallo?
El gallo.
Okay. The level 2
El burro.
for bubbles, they move. And it's so quickly, you better
La
touch it or it
lagartija.
disappears. If you don't touch
El
it fast
burro.
enough, the bubbles move, you see. This one's giving you points. And those are things that you get in the reports if you have individual student license. Some parents don't care about getting reports. If you don't, that's what the homeschool program comes with. You get access to all this content. If you want to have reports and you want to create quizzes, that's what a lot of schools do. And the teacher wants to know, measure, from beginning to end where the students are. Then they go and get the online individual licenses. I'm going to show you very quickly because this session is almost finished, and then we can go with questions. I want to show you some of these. Hold on. Let me put it here. Any questions so far?
Okay, so.
This is a kindergarten. She puts 4 at a time.
All right,
Can you hear?
Good.
Let's see the
Yeah,
volume.
that's great.
La ballena.
So this is an example of a kindergarten using the matching, which is with words.
Cocodrilo.
Okay, so that is one that I wanted to show you. And
Good job. Okay, now can you do the next 4?
So we're gonna now do the next 4.
And let me start. This one is they're playing concentration. So you see, this is the 6-year-old and I think she's 5 and 7. And they're playing this game that I showed them here. And they're playing them with their cards at home using the matching flashcards. Can you listen? Can you hear or no? The volume.
It's quiet, but I can hear.
Yeah, pick a number. Did you see it? Tell me where it is.
Pick a number, Becca.
Pick a number.
What number is that?
So you see, she picks 6 instead of 9.
Nope, that's not the one.
Oh, it's this one.
9.
9. Okay. Aburrito. Wait, repetito.
All right, they want to pass off their emotions. Okay, Ev.
Aburrito.
Oh, you just, now this is yours.
Triste.
See that the parents asking the vocabulary that they.
Cansado.
No, what's this one? You're scared. All right, Becca, I'm going to call out a color, and I want you to find it, okay? So, can you find rojo?
Yes.
That's right. Rojo, what color is rojo?
Red.
Red, good job. Okay. Now can you
This is acting
find...
as kid.
Go.
Hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, gracias. Bienvenida a Maxi. ¿Y cuál es tu nombre?
Mi nombre es Cecilia.
¿Y cuál es tu apellido?
Mi apellido es
So you see?
¿Y
All right, Letitia, we wanted to know if we are doing this right. We're playing math. So she has the problem 5 plus 5. So if I say cuánto es 5 más 5? That's how I ask her how much 5 plus 5 is, right? Okay, now can you do 5 plus 5?
Cinco.
So ¿cuánto es
Es
5
cinco
más
más
5?
cinco.
Okay, now you go ahead and do it and figure out what the answer is. So there's 5 más 5.
You see, that is something that the mom is doing at her.
Okay. And then you tell me, write the answer down. And then you tell me the answer. So you tell me 5 plus 5 equals 10. So you're going to say 5
Cinco
más 5 es igual
igual
a
a
10.
Okay.
diez.
So
Is that right?
this is in the program. If you go to your numbers and you go to your questions and answers in numbers, ¿cuánto es 9 menos 3? So you can listen to the question.
¿Cuánto
You can
es
see what it
9
means in
menos 3?
English. How much is 9 minus 3? And then the answer.
9 menos 3
So you see, that's
es
what you
igual a
have
6.
as a parent to be practicing and to be asking your child, or your child be practicing those questions that you see the mom was doing with the daughter. I see the time is past, 2 minutes. I'm so sorry about that, but I just wanted to share a little bit of in action with homeschool parent that didn't speak any Spanish. That mom had 0 Spanish skills. And I was, of course, I offered to be assistant just because she allowed me to, share these videos of her daughters. So I kind of did a help as assistant, but she was a huge help in telling me, like, the mini posters and the mini pictures. Part of the reason why we did them is she says, those little dominoes are tiny. I think it would be great if we had the little cards. And so we thought, yes, and with COVID, all these teachers that are teaching online, this is very convenient to be able to use a magnetic board and to teach that way. So anyway, I'm going to be here for another session. And I will definitely be happy to answer any questions if you have any. Regarding the program. Our website, by the way, is SpanishForKids.com. And we have a package that is the homeschool program. And the homeschool program is $299. It includes the digital and all of the materials. It's like having a mini school program because we give you the same tools, but it's in miniature version. Next, just because of time, but basically you get your student book, with which the book has everything you see online. You get your workbooks, and the workbooks has exercises to practice the writing portion. We, maybe scramble words or put the syllables together. We have some samples in our website of some of those exercises. We give you these cards that I can show you here. I think I have them. Where is my, it's right here. This right here. Okay, these cards are the method, like in a snapshot. So if you can go to your manual, or you can use your cards for the themes that you're learning. This talks about the method when you're introducing, reinforcement, mastering, a quick reminder of conversation games that you can play for those questions and answers. And if you turn at the back, it's the method for presenting the games, the songs, the printed games, the digital and the printed games. It's like a snapshot. And then you also have the theme cards, and the theme cards are basically, look, you get 18 of them for each theme that you saw on the online program. This is like to quickly get a reference of, for pronunciation. These are your downloads. These are the printed materials you get. This is the digital thing. Of course, you notice it says school and homeschool. Homeschool, it's the little version. School gets the big, large posters. And then in the back of the cards are ideas for games that are specific for that theme, how to present things that are a little more advanced. But basically, these cards are very helpful, and they're new this year. I think this is going to help a lot of parents to quickly get ideas on how to present each theme. So anyways, the program comes with all these things, and I can talk a little bit about the content of the program next class. Muchísimas gracias por su tiempo. Thank you for your time. And anything else, Megan, that you want to say?
No, Leticia, thank you so much for sharing. This was so much information, and I really enjoyed looking through and realizing there is so much of this information on your website too. Once you start digging through all of the tabs on the menu, it's colorful, it's interesting. You're talking so much about the method and the different ways to engage students physically and with songs. I love the combination of learning a spoken language and American Sign Language at the same time. I've really enjoyed hearing from you. So I'm very excited to do part 2 next week, same time on the 28th.
Yes.
More material.
More material, and if you want to bring your kids, is that allowed? That way they can be part. They can be part of the lesson. I can teach them colors. We can go over some of these a, e, I, o, a few of the pronunciation things, and that way when you get the program, you get a jump start if you decide to go with the program. But yes, I think it's a good idea to see the reaction of your kids on how they engage with Risas y Sonrisas, which by the way means laughter and smiles. Risas y Sonrisas. So, muchísimas gracias. Gracias a Michelle por acompañarme. Y we'll see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, all right. And thank you so much. And we also have a link if you go onto the Family Partnership website and you're looking through the schedule of parent workshops. There's a link right on today's workshop that takes you to SpanishForKids.com. So you can go right from there to find it if you're not sure how to navigate or if you don't remember. So anyhow, thanks so much, everybody.
Thank you.